Hey guys, Mathel here once again with a follow-up update on the endgame of the Voltaxic Lightning Arrow Storm Rain type Deadeye character. And it went pretty well. Like, got to level 95, started pushing 96, but died a couple times, and I was just focused on doing endgame anyway. So, yeah, honestly, not too bad a character. Just keep blasting maps, doing plenty of un-ID'd maps. Tier 16s and that, because you can handle running any map mod on this type of a build, but it's not necessarily always going to be fun. So you can do the un-IDs, but yeah, it's not always going to be the nicest map mods to throw at you. So it's still nicer to roll them, but like I said, if it's a full chaos build, you got some leech and stuff, then it is possible to run pretty much any map mod. And Lightning Arrow, terrific mapper as always. Can go with Tornado Shot as well. It really depends on, I'd say, the map layout, but they both have their pros and cons. But Lightning Arrow is what I stuck to pretty much the entire time, and then Storm Rain as a secondary single target on Totems. Kind of feels like a sort of a crutch that could fix almost any bow single target. So I was a big fan of that in the end. It scales really well to have just a few totems down with some good attack speed and Storm Rain scaling, but it depends on if the mob that you're fighting is going to be standing still for any sort of decent period of time. But it does bust out a lot of DPS where your bow character would otherwise maybe not do so much. So did pretty much all endgame content with the character. This is a feared with a bunch of extra damage on it, temp chains, some other shit. Did a couple of feareds, and in my experience, just them having more damage is pretty fine compared to, let's say, them being way faster or having additional proj. So this one was just some damage and temp chains and stuff, and it went down fine. I then did another one with 2 additional proj, and it took a few portals, but also doable. It's just a lot harder to actually get away from a lot of the mechanics that are going to be thrown at you. So the reliance on the totem setup is a bit annoying because it forces you to kind of like stutter, step, press totems all the time if you really want to min-max the deeps. The Barrage Lightning Arrow itself does something like 8 to 10 million, I think, which isn't bad if you just stand still and go nuts with the Barrage Lightning Arrow. But then if you include the totems and you have a good setup on them, they're like an extra 20 to 30 million DPS by themselves. So it does end up paying off quite a lot if you can get the totem setups down, and that's partially why we also try and make sure that our skill costs not too much mana, because with Focus Ballista and the totems, then you get to basically pre-fire with Storm Rain into an area before something even spawns. So even though we look kind of squish, lots of evasion, like 85%, 90%, something like that, with Cap Suppress, very fast playstyle, and I did spec into a couple of points for the Leech node, makes you pretty thick for some of this content. I will say that this, for Ubers, even though it's got pretty good damage, it's still not full overkill amounts of damage, and for Ubers, it's still going to be very skill-based gameplay. Like, you're going to have to know the mechanics of these things and practice the fights a bit. That's basically how it is for a lot of my characters. If you probably didn't notice, but you should have, you need to get in tune with the character versus the boss, practice the fight a bit, and then you just get better at doing the boss with that character. It's only really if you're a lot tankier and you can afford to take all the hits, or you have way more damage, and then you can afford to just blow things up before they move. But yeah, it usually takes a little bit of practice on each character to kind of get it in tune with Ubers, and it was realistic enough, but it won't be super easy to replicate for Uber content, I don't think, because it will take some practice. But once again, Uber content pretty optional. For regular type content, this DPS is huge amounts of overkill. So with that said, yeah, I did pretty much all the content. I think I died to Uber Cirrus a couple times. Didn't manage to kill him because that is just super cancer of a fight. Otherwise, it went pretty well. I love Voltaxic boat. I think it's a little bit underrated, but it does have somewhat of a ceiling. Still a very good boat to play around with. I'm just going to leave you with a Maven kill. It went pretty well, I think. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. See you guys next time. Yeah, Barrage feels like ass sometimes. Because you have to be like basically on screen and targeting the exact area of the boss. I'm going to try and take a bit more liberty in my standstill DPS phase. Because I should be able to nail it a bit better.
I agree with Matthew.
Farming my second pair of Alberons today. Can I get a GL from Matthew to help with the RNG?
Fuck that! You don't deserve a second pair of Alberons. One's enough. Suck a dick. Gee, please, thanks for 17 months. That's dumb, dude. I only died because I looked over at chat to see if they were confirming that feeling. Uh-oh. Wait, did she just go for the totems then? Yeah, that's super cool of her.
Stop resisting. Reality bends. Hush, inescapable.
How many Katavas is that? I didn't even know it was a Katava. Like, that's what I'm saying. When I died, I was so distracted trying to look at chat. I didn't know what I was fighting. I just saw the attack kill me. Alright. No. Mommy. Wasn't even close.
The living toy must enjoy our contests.
See, so I died once, and it was chat's fault. Otherwise, deathless. Wait, once? Twice? I don't know. Whatever. Shut up. Chat's fault. Flawless victory.